So Manchester United 3, Arsenal 1, first loss of the season. Gabriel Jesus still hasn't scored a goal against Manchester United. And we were in the game, Kenny, for quite a large part of that game. Obviously, Santa Claus Arsenal turned up as well because we gifted Anthony a debut goal. Had a goal disallowed. But it's one of them for me. It's like what could have and should have been maybe. But how did you see the game overall, mate? And what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, like the neutral me and the fair man me, I just want to shake Christian Eriksen's hand. A year ago in Copenhagen, that guy was fighting for his life. He died on a football pitch. And to come back after a year when he wouldn't get, they basically had to pension him off in Italy because the Italian league doesn't allow players with stems to play football in their country. He had to come here, went to Brentford, got his fitness back, he's playing for the biggest club in the country and putting a performance like that after losing your life, nearly losing your life. Well, you lost your life until quick thinking of the medics. I shake his hand. I really shake his hand because that was a performance and a half. But it's not about Christian, it's about us. And I have to say, we were fantastic. Man United was scared of us. First 10 minutes, they passed the ball well, and then and they were always in the attack. They had the overlaps, but we were very compact. Then, the incident I think probably changed the game was, the VAR incident. Eriksen for me, when I first saw it, he lost the ball. Odegaard made a tackle, Odegaard makes tackle. Saka puts in a fantastic ball from Martinelli. Great pass from Saka, who I thought was pretty good today until the 60th minute. And Martinelli makes it 1-0. Then all of a sudden, I looked at it and I went, nah, they're going to stop this, because I think the debate is regarding VAR. We're Arsenal fans. We're gutted it happened. It's the same thing with, West Ham fans at the bridge yesterday. But you have to ask the question, and no one's doing that. If that was an Arsenal player, i.e., if Eriksen challenged Odegaard like that and Rashford went down the field to score, Arsenal fans would be up in arms, wouldn't they? The same thing regarding West Ham fans. If it was like, say it was Sterling on Fabianski and the ball gets put in the net, you want VAR act. So that's the thing with VAR. There's going to be no winners with VAR.
The thing is, like, deep down, do you think it was a foul? I think it was a harsh free kick. Yeah. But at the same time, there was, listen, all contact doesn't mean it's a foul. And Eriksen used his smartness and his cuteness to say, like, I'm going to shield the ball. Odegaard couldn't slow down his momentum quick enough, and his knee smashed into Eriksen's right thigh. Not very hard. It's a foul for me. It's harsh, but it's a foul.
Foul's a foul. Let's just be honest. If this was Arsenal and it happened vice versa, I can promise you faithfully, we would be up in arms collectively as a fan base saying, what's happening? I'm looking at it right now at the corner of my eye. Someone right at the corner of my eye. And it's the same thing. If that was the other way around, we want a foul. But in saying that, when after we got the goal to Slad, we were on top. We were smashing the pieces. Odegaard was passing the ball very well. Xhaka was dominating midfield. Zinchenko was vacating his position at left back because we were dominating position. He was the extra man in midfield, so we had extra passes. And every time Saka and Martinelli got the ball, we were scaring the life out of them. There was one-on-ones. Saka against I can't pronounce the begins with M. Masalia.
Yeah. We're just calling him M.
Masalia. And Martinelli was on Dalot. So it was a case we were isolating them. We took advantage of the fact that, Anthony couldn't, track back, although he tried, he's still not at the pace physically in their game. But what's happened is that we switch off. So, a foul on Fanage, instead of playing to the whistle, playing to the whistle, playing to the advantage. Arsenal stop, because they think the referee's going to give a free kick. But the referee clearly says, play on. And then what's happened is that 1 second, when we stop what we're doing, 1 second, 2 passes, boom, Anthony makes it 1-0.
It was poor defending, Kenny. I just want to highlight the defending, right? Gabriel Yeah, I've said this before. Yeah, that guy has got a lot of mistakes in every game. Yeah,
Exactly.
there was a chance, a ball where it was a simple pass forward, and he just gave it straight to them at one point.
Mm.
That instance for that goal, he went rushing out, slid straight into Bruno. So now he's vacated his position. Now Zinchenko, multiple title winner, looks over his shoulder, sees Anthony, sees no one's there, and then gets sucked into the ball.
Exactly.
How is that possible? Just a moment of lapse of
but
concentration.
Lee, you've got to remember one thing. We've been playing well. We've been winning all our games. But those instances in play have been prevalent in all the games that we've played this season. Not against Bournemouth, but Crystal Palace. There were lapses of concentration where we didn't get punished. Obviously, it's Leicester who just got no confidence. They still managed to get through to us. You know, and you have to look at the Fulham game as well, where they went 1-0 up. It was those little lapses of concentration that we're still being incapable of. But what was happening is that because of the bounce back ability of the team, and because of the fact that we have players who are clinical, we don't suffer and we prosper in the end. And that's one of the things. Paul Merson had it right today. We had all that possession, and I'm praising us, so I don't feel depressed. But you know, how many saves did the guy have to really make? None really. And how many times did we really hit the target? And that's one of the things. It's the typical Arsenal. The approach play is fantastic, but it's the execution. But again, what's happened now, and there's one criticism of Mikel Arteta. You know, we haven't had to criticise him at all this season. We've praised him. But what he did, it was bad Mikel. The Mikel we don't like. Like, we go 2-1 up, 2-1 down, and what he's done is that by making all these substitutions, because, you know, he's trying to go and win the game, but what he did is he disrupted the midfield. He took off Odegaard, who I thought, all right, he's got a knock, but he ain't going to play on Thursday. Should have kept him towards the end. He's taken off all those players, you know, he's taken off Sambi, basically out of midfield, and he's put on all these attack players. Sufro wants to play further up. Vieira wants to play further up. And then, you know, Eddie is Eddie, and that was probably the right substitution. But the problem is, what he's done is made Jesus come out of the areas where he's hurting teams. He's not on the centre half, and he's put Eddie there. The danger's gone. And then what's happened is Man United went, right, I'm gonna put enough Casemiro on and Fred, shut shop. And then what he done was really clever, Ten Hag. He kept his passes on. He kept players like Fernandes and Eriksen who just think, right, we know we may not have to pace, but now we've got Ronaldo and now we've got Rashford, play the ball through the middle. And that's both the goals. And mate, the second and third goal was just one pass, bang, You know, Fernandes, Eriksen, Fernandes, boom, 2-1. The second one, Fernandes, boom, Eriksen bends his run, uses intelligence, Rashford playing with confidence. And that's what it was. It was like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. But we invited Man United to close the game out because we panicked when we went 2-1 up. It's not as if we haven't been behind before. We were behind against Fulham. And even when Leicester equalised, we showed we had the bounce back ability. But maybe Arteta panicked because even though we had the great approach play, we weren't throwing De Gea. You know, Saka had a few shots here and there, but that's the thing. And that's what we got to learn. You know, sometimes me, you, and Jez, we temper expectations, but we get called negative. And what we're trying to say is that, yes, it's good, but it ain't great yet. We've won 5 games in a row, and that's it. Points on the board, which is going to help us towards the end of the season. But games like this, it's a learning curve for our players to understand is that the reason why, you know, these Ten Hag's there and why Man United have won their first 3 games is the reason, because they're hard to beat. And they've got some at the other end. They're more than happy to go down the other end, score, and then shut up shop. They've been doing it for the last 3 games. They're good at it.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts, mate. Our next 3 games are Everton, Spurs, and Liverpool. And then after that, we've got Leeds and I think Man City after that.
Well, so that's the thing. We don't forget the games in Europe, but if you want to discount the games in Europe and you concentrate on the league, which, you know, the league is their bread and butter, the fact is, I saw enough for Everton yesterday in the Merseyside derby to understand that they're going to make themselves difficult to beat. And then, you know, you've got players like Damari Gray, you've got the nuisance, which is Mopé playing. And he's that nuisance, pain in the arse, Wazzock, pork chop. But he's going to have a go. We should win that. But Spurs, again, I watched Spurs' performance against Fulham. and you know, Liverpool. So it's one of those things we got to learn quickly, because what we saw today, when you have the you know, you waltz in meeting moments, you know, you switch off, you get beaten, and it's hard to come back at the games. You know, we switched off at 1-0 and we started to dominate the game, but you can't do it again when you go 2-1 up. And this, what happens when you play better teams? We are playing good football. We can become a good team, but you know, it's one of those things where you've got to cut out. It's not easy not to make mistakes and individual errors in games, but you've got to remember that good teams with good coaches will punish you, and you know, if you make the mistakes, and they won't let you back in, which Man United didn't.
Exactly. 100%. Listen, we're going to do player ratings in a short while. Big up to everybody who's watched this. Smash the likes up. Jez's fan cam's coming. So is Matt's and Brandon's, and then player ratings will be out later. But Kenny, thank you, mate. And I'll send you the link for player ratings in a bit.
I'll speak to you soon.
I'll set her out.
Sheet up. I'll set her out, of course, yeah.